Question, the member from Haliburton, Council Lake Spot.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is for the Premier. Premier, it has been 24 hours since I asked you to strike an all-party select committee to study sexual harassment in the workplace. Yesterday, you talked about being open to conversations and the need to be vigilant. But those are all vacant words with no commitment to action. What better way to demonstrate that this is a serious issue than by agreeing today to strike an all-party select committee to study sexual harassment in the workplace? Premier, when can we expect your decision on this matter?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Well, in that 24 hours, Mr. Speaker, I have actually taken some action. So what I did was I spoke with the head of the OPS to determine exactly what procedures and protocols were in place. I have that information. I'm happy to share that with the member opposite. But, you know, people need to know that there is a workplace discrimination and harassment policy in place that addresses prevention, reporting, and a workplace discrimination and harassment policy that deals also with violence in the workplace. That is within the framework of the legislation that is in place and the Human Rights Code. The other thing that I did, Mr. Speaker, was I checked within our own Liberal caucus to make sure that the policies were in place, and there is in fact a policy for harassment and violence-free workplace that applies to our Liberal caucus, Mr. Speaker. So I'd be very interested in the House leaders actually having a discussion about what's in place in the other caucuses, Mr. Speaker. I think this is an issue that affects every single one of us. We need to make sure that the OPS, the private sector, and our own caucuses, Mr. Speaker, and the Legislative Assembly has protocols are in place, because I believe that this goes way beyond one incident, one person in one media outlet. This is a societal issue. This is a culture of the workplace issue, and I'd be happy to talk to the member opposite about that.
Well, Premier, this is a serious issue. We don't want you to play politics with it. Today I did send letters to the House leaders to stress the importance of the issue and to formally request that we move forward with the all-party select committee to study the sexual harassment in the workplace. Now, yesterday, I was brought to your government's attention again for the second time the issue involving an assistant Crown attorney who was allowed to resign and given 1 year's salary bonus, rather than the Attorney General, your own Attorney General in your government, rather than investigate the workplace harassment complaints made against him. So the problem, you know, you talk about policies, the problem is occurring under your own roof. So, Premier, you know, will I be receiving an affirmative response to my request for an all-party select committee today?
Well, Mr. Speaker, I think the member opposite knows perfectly well that I can't comment on a particular case, and she keeps raising that one case. But here's what I believe about this issue, Mr. Speaker. I believe that this...
Come to order.
I believe that this issue affects every single member of our society. I believe that no matter where we work, no matter where we live, we have to take action ourselves. We have legislative frameworks, Mr. Speaker. We have regulatory frameworks. We have policies, and I am in the process of making sure that those policies are in place across government. But the reality is that if every one of us in this House doesn't look to our own practice and doesn't look to our own colleagues and takes responsibility for our own action, then we will not make the cultural change that's necessary, Mr. Speaker. So I'm saying to the member opposite that I'm going to ask my House leader to raise this issue to make sure that across this House we have the correct policies.
Thank you. Any questions? The member from Kenora.